Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm just gonna do a breakdown, cause some people asked for it. A breakdown of my effect of the Kamehameha. So yeah, if you're seeing this, you've already seen the effect, but you know, I'm just gonna show some bits and pieces of it. I'm not really gonna explain anything beyond the basic stuff. I'm just gonna show how it was structured because I just opened this after like 8 months. Okay, so I first want to show like the meat and potatoes of this effect, which is basically the beam. So the beam is actually just a mesh composed of 3 meshes, which is just the same mesh duplicated a bunch of times. So we have the blue section, which is like the biggest one, the middle section, or I should say like the smallest section, and the middle section. So that composes our beam, right? So where's this mesh? So here's the mesh. I could have used a better mesh for this, but it works. So on top of that, I just have a material with some noise just displaces the mesh. Let me see if I can find the yeah, so here's my master material for this. So just I just move, I think, yeah, a noise, multiply it with the vectors normal and put it in the position offset, and that gives me this. It could have been a lot cleaner, or I could have used like a smoother noise texture, because it's kind of really jagged right now. But you know, it works with the level of like action and violence that this requires. But I still would have used, like, if I did it again now, I would have used a smoother noise texture. So that makes the beam. Then we have all the particle systems that are being triggered at certain points in this sequence. This is all the camera stuff. We don't care about that right now. This is the Goku animation. So I did the animation myself. Now I gotta show you this because this is really funny. This is the model that I got from Sketchfab, I think it was. And you know, it's okay. I mean, I got a free model. I can't complain, especially when it's shot from the back. So you can't really see anything else, so I didn't care. It was okay enough. I did have to fix some parts of the model in order to animate it, because it was broken like all over the place. And then I painted it, and yeah, you don't care about that because we're talking about VFX. So speaking of, before I get into the particle system stuff, I want to show you some stuff like this. So I tried doing like, okay, let me put this up. So you're gonna see this ball. This is the actual center of his hands, right? Which I couldn't really get consistently good in a particle system. So I just made a glowy sphere. And here in the animation I make it scale up and down. Wait, let me move it back up again. You can see, oh, no, not that, yes. So see, it just scales up and down. I couldn't just done that with a sine wave in the material of the sphere, but I wasn't really used to doing that in a material, so I was just like, okay, fuck it, let's just do it in the animation. which I do not recommend. It's just a waste of time. But I mean, it sort of gets the job done, kinda. Plus, you don't really notice. Like, when you see this from the video that I put out, you don't see that as a separate object, so it doesn't matter. I did want to show like this. This should be like in his hands, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. Oh, and also speaking about the beams, you can see right here that I modified the scale of each of the beams. So the center of the energy, like the hottest part, let's say, goes first, and it's the thinnest part always. And then the rest of the energy, like the residual energy, I guess, I don't know, that follows along. Yeah, the first thing you see is like the most powerful part of the beam go out. But you know, you won't really see that like real time. But you know, it's one of those things that your brain will notice even if you yourself don't. So it's cool to think of stuff like that. I also have a light component in this sphere. Yeah, so you see Goku being like illuminated by this sphere. So this was the shot, so you see this light here, this light here. So yeah, I put a light, I think it's on the... oh, the light is the parent of everything. That's weird. Well, I forgot about this. I don't know why I did it like this, but it must have been something like... because I remember having issues with tracking the VFX to the hands. So I think I just parented the light. Like I did the animation for the light. Like, and then I parented every part of the effect to that light, which followed the hands. So I wouldn't have to make everything follow the hands. So yeah, that's something very typical. Like you tend to do that kind of thing. Okay, so now for the actual VFX. Well, not actual, but the particle systems, I should say. We have the follow ball, which is, I think, yeah. So this is just this, which I guess we could see like a 50%. There we go. Let me just isolate some. I think this is a mesh. Yeah. I don't think I would do this like this right now. I think I was pretty adamant on performance, even in like personal projects. So I did this thinking, oh, I don't want to make a texture like this. For a texture would be a lot of wasted space. So this would be like the way to go, but if you're doing a personal project, it's okay, you know. But it's good, you know, to show that you are thinking about this kind of thing, because when you're working on a project, things like this are gonna save your ass. Plus, you can't really notice it's a mesh when you see it with everything else. Or maybe you can, I don't know. Doesn't matter. And I have some lines coming in. Oh, I think this was to complement the ball. Yeah, the sphere on his hands. This couldn't be in a higher resolution. Well, whatever. Then what do we have? Oh yeah, I'm layering some glows with this sphere. Then, whoa, what's this? Sorry guys, I'm like rediscovering this project. This is cool. I didn't even notice that. Oh, it's like really tiny in his hands. That's way too much to be barely noticeable though. I mean, these are not in the shot. Like right now they're dead. See, they're really not that long. But still, that's kind of a lot to be having. Because you're not gonna even see it. Are you? Oh yeah, kinda. Well, whatever. I would still, like, how many are these? Sorry for this tangent, but I just want to check. Because it's gonna be the same. Yeah, if it's 50 or something. I think I was trying to cut some corners with spawning more. Like trying to add detail just by spawning more. It's not necessarily good. So yeah, keep that in mind. What's this? Oh, yeah, this is like to complement the lines in. Oh, and another glow, but like a multiply glow. This is gonna be harder to see because it's multiplying against black, but yeah, it's there. I've seen like some square stuff. What? Why is this like this? Yuck. Okay, don't do this. This is awful. Just use a black and white texture. Why did I use a color? That's so weird. Okay, whatever. So that's that. So if I erase the ball, no, not this, sphere, you're gonna see that one more clearly. So that's the one that we just saw. Okay. So this one is just the beginning part when he's loading up the projectile. Yep. This is just okay. So this is just some dots, and then we have this, which accompanies the dots. Then we have the glow, which already adds so much. Then we have another glow for the middle part, which is like the most energy. Then we have the curves, which just accentuates the energy coming out. So yeah, and then you have the starting point. So that's that. There you go. So now for the actual, wait, no, before that we have the flares. So I have this, which is the start of the shot, and see, you can see it. When you see it from another angle, like from this one, you can really see how it sort of clashes with the meshes, like here. But from the angle that I set it up, it kind of doesn't. See, so you can't really tell from here, for example, where the mesh starts, if there is a mesh, and if there is a sprite, where does it start? You can't really tell. So I modified this to be on the back of the of these meshes here through the material. So that's that. It's just a simple just 4 textures. Scaling up and down, rotating really fast, just to give more of a hectic energy to everything. And then we have the actual shot, which, for the record, I would not recommend setting this up this way, because I have this. See? So this is on the tip of the beam. That thing is on the tip of this. Maybe you're gonna see it now. See? I wouldn't really set it up like that if this was for an actual game, because you actually want that to be on the tip of like an actual projectile that is handled through code. You don't want that in an animation or in a particle system just flying willy-nilly, because you're really gonna limit yourself if you do it like this. But again, you know, it's just a personal effect, so I didn't really care for that. So yeah, I have the shot. Wait, actually, let's not do that. Let's do this. Yeah. So we can just focus on this. So the first part that I want to mention, we have a lot of stacked glows with different timings and different lifetimes and different everything, just to give more of an oomph to everything. Also, the blue stays until the end to show like how the energy is dissipating from his hands also. So yeah, something to keep in mind. So then we have this flare. This is just 2 of the same texture and mesh going backwards. It's just like a half cylinder. Yep. It's just going back. Really blew me at the start. I guess it could be less bloomy though, because it's a bit too much isolated, but maybe in the overall effect it's not that bad. Whoa, what's this? So that's just like an electricity thingy going about. I remember reaching a point where I didn't know how to finish the look of like the energy leaving his hands, and I didn't like wanna put more sparks, because if you see here, I already have like a ton of sparks. So that's that. So then my favorite part, the curves. Let's just stop seeing this for a moment. This is just, I think it's the same mesh. No, but it's kind of the same. Yeah. So yeah, that's just spinning around and dissolving with a dynamic parameter also. This is just a smaller one. It's the same thing, but that smaller one. See how it's more like an inner ring. I could have done this with curves, because this is expensive right now with such a big mesh with little texture info. Then we have these sparks, which have I think the most important part is that we have a point attractor. So with the point attractor, they just go like inwards into the energy beam. But I didn't just like that, so I also added that, but without a point attractor. So now we have energy coming inside again into the beam and outside. See what I mean? So it's like a burst of energy going in again into the attack and everywhere else, because it's just raw power. So yeah, that gives me this. So yeah, I think that's everything. Oh no, I think I'm missing yeah, this. This is the impact. Okay. So I think this is the weakest part of the effect, especially because I was really lazy with the hit effect. Whoa, what's going on with that? Let me check. So we have this. Yeah, this just feels extremely lazy to me. But you know, I think I did everything, and I did the impact the last. So I was just like, fuck it, let's just do this. As long as it's spiky textures, it should be fine. Like, I don't even know what this is. This is weird. It's just some random shapes. This isn't connected to anything really. Let's see this. Okay. So this is just the same as... Nope. As this. This. This is just this one, but a lot more, of course. See? Also, this texture is really muddy for something so stylized, but it's whatever. Wait, what's this? Oh, this is like the initial one. Okay, I see. Then we have some multiplying glow, which we're not gonna really see here. Then we have that glow and another glow blue and a lighter glow, I think, on top of everything. So that, and finally we have the number, which was really tricky to do. I think because mainly being so far away from the camera, it was hard for me to find a solution for it to be visible. And I think it wasn't just by scaling, because scaling just resulted in something weird. I think it was this, yeah, camera offset. So this just offset the particle towards or away from the camera. I think 1000 would be 1000 units towards the camera, which if you see this, it's not gonna be much, but it makes it visible. That's the point. Because before it would just blend, it would just either be too small or blend in with the rest of the impact. So yeah, that's a neat solution. I'm seeing if I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, well, the last thing, that's it really for the breakdown, but the last thing I should mention is that the trigger animation, I have, yeah, if I go into edit, you're gonna see that when I press the play button, I need to get a bit away, and I press N, it plays the whole thing. The camera has an animation, and I can just press it back to back. It has some shake animation too, which is done through code. Yep, you can just do a shake camera with this, or if you Google how to do a camera shaking in Google, you're gonna find like the Unreal official tutorial on this, and it's super easy. You just need this, and you just need to call it in the event. That's about it, really. It's normal shells. I did the rocks also, and well, this is just a terrain in real. The sky is not loading for some reason, but that's a plugin, an asset, I should say. That's about it, and thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful in any way. Bye.